Hey, what's going on, guys? Daniel Frank, and today we're going to be talking about what's going on in the Boise real estate market right now, June 2025. Okay, so let's go. Let's hit the most important thing in the room: mortgage rates. All right, see that? Look at those mortgage rates. 5 years. Let me tell you something contrarian that no realtor is saying right now. If you're a buyer, okay, if you're a seller and a buyer, this advice does not go to you. If you're a seller, advice is not for you. If you're a buyer, first-time buyer, or just somebody who doesn't own a home that's gonna buy, you want this to continue, okay? Yes. Are there downsides? Does the monthly payment suck? Absolutely. Should you buy a house if you can't handle that monthly payment? Obviously, you should not buy, right? So that's the one caveat. But why would I say that if you're a buyer, you want these high mortgage rates to continue compared to right here? Well, because it's stagnating prices. Here's the median list price. We went from 425,000 to 700,000 in 2 years. Is that sustainable? No, it's not sustainable. Now we're going sideways. We're actually going slightly down. Sideways and a little bit down. Not a crash, a long-term correction. Back to the point. If you're a buyer, why would you want interest rates to stay high? Why would you say that? Here's what buyers need to understand. And here's what a lot of influencers don't understand. When you buy real estate, there's only one thing that can never change, and that's the price. If you buy a house for $500,000, let's just say no down payment, let's just keep it easy. $500,000, boom, offer, close. You always owe $500,000 now. Always. That debt must be repaid. Okay? What about everything else? Well, everything else can change. The 30-year, you could do a 20-year mortgage, you could get a better interest rate, you could refinance, you can recast. A lot of people don't know about recasting. Let's say you sell part of your 401k or you get an inheritance or whatever. You get a big bonus promotion. Say you get $100,000, you can take that money, give it to the bank, say, hey, I want to recast this loan. It'll take it down to $400,000. They'll redo the monthly payment, and now you got a lower monthly payment without anything else changing. Okay, all these things you can change. You can change the year, you can change the rate, you can change the terms, the conditions. Everything else can change. The price cannot change. Okay. Huge. Think about that for a minute. The price always must be repaid back. All the other stuff can change. Okay, so let's talk about that price. Now, this is the median list price. This isn't the sold price. I'll talk about sold prices in another video. Okay, median list price. We went from 425,000 to 700,000. Again, median list price. All right, look at that explosion. Why? Because of those rates. Look at these rates. It's insane. Now we're in a sideways market. Okay? Very important to realize. We're in a sideways market. What does this mean for buyers? This means you can breathe. You can make moves. You can get things in order. You got something on your credit score, a little ding? Take care of that. No need to worry. Prices aren't going anywhere. You got an inheritance coming up, you got a job raise, you're getting married, and you're going to combine, now 2 incomes, so you have double the purchasing power. Maybe you're going to pay off a car. All of that can now happen. And now you don't have to hyperventilate because you're not going to see prices go from here to here. Not going to see it add $375,000 to a mortgage, right? So this is a good thing for buyers. I know it doesn't feel like that when you go to get pre-approved and you see that monthly payment. It stings. Let's acknowledge that. But if you can think long-term, if you can think 5 years, 10 years, especially if you can buy a house that you could see yourself living in for 10 years, that's the money shot. That is the goal. With these rates, if you can get your household in order and everything is well done, and you buy a house that you could foresee yourself living in for 10, 12, 15 years, all this stuff will work itself out. Interest rates will eventually go lower. How low? No clue. When does that happen? Not gonna say. I have no idea. But the prices are finally stagnating, and that's what you want. Now, I am under no impression that of all the doomers on YouTube and everywhere else that say we're going to crash. I don't think we're going to crash. I could see scenarios where it could. But the main thing that's happening is that we are in a sideways market. If I had to predict and if I had to put money on it, I would say we're going to go on a sideways market for at least another 2, 3, 4 years in reality. Because until the mortgage rates actually go down, until we actually see 4.5%, real estate is not going up. I'm sorry, it's just not possible. The math does not math. So it's a good thing for buyers. Let's look at the median days on market. When's the best time to look for real estate? Well, it depends. Depends on seasonality. Maybe I'll do a video for that another time. But this is the median days on market. We always see, oh, you know what? I forgot about one point. There we go. Inventory. This is actually the chart I wanted to do. So you're going to see two lines now. The solid blue line is the 90-day average, and the dotted line is the 7-day average. Now, normally I don't put in 7-day averages, but I wanted to show you this because if you're a buyer, you should get excited. See this spike in the 7-day inventory? Boom, just skyrockets. The last time that happened was 2022. And you know what was happening in 2022? I was getting great deals from my buyers. $30K off list price. Oh, you need $30K for closing costs? And you want me to pay all your closing costs and buy down your rate 1%? Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do it. Sellers would do it. We're doing it in every deal. Every deal I put under contract. Best deal I got was, for my clients, was 20 acres outside of Wilder. It's about 40 minutes away from the Boise metro area. 20 acres was $400,000. We just, for fun, we're just like, let's give them $300,000. They took it. 2 hours they took it. It was crazy. So we're going to watch this. I'm going to watch this. I'll make another video in a week or two about the inventory. If we see this continue, if we see this trend continue, which I think we will, I think there's a lot of pent-up divorces. There's a lot of pent-up relocations, people who move to the Treasure Valley, Boise area, who want out. It's more common than you think. I've helped many people move here, and then a few years later, they move back to wherever they came from. There's a lot of pent-upness, okay? So 2022 was more panic selling. You know, it just, people were really scared. The interest rates was doom and gloom. Oh my God, everything's going to fall apart. Never happened. So we're going to watch this. And if you're a buyer, this is what you should be watching. Because if you see this spike up to here, sorry, I'm flipping you off. If you see this spike up here, it's time to make offers. It's time to make offers. Ridiculous offers, you know, 30K, 40K, 50K under, especially if you're pre-approved. Let me check my notes real quick. Yeah, advice to buyers. What's smart right now? Patience. Patience is a virtue. Patience is finally on your side. In no way should this mean, oh, there's a crash coming, or, oh, you know, this or that. It's simply market dynamics. There's going to be a lot of inventory of those bulk of people, of sellers. There's going to be a big portion that don't need to sell. So if you offer them a low price, they're going to say, F you, I don't need to sell this place. I'm simply selling because if it works for me financially, then I'll make the move. But there is going to be another portion of that pie. You know, I don't know, I would just be guessing, but you know, about 20% of people, they need to sell. They need to sell. They have to sell for some reason, all sorts of reasons. And those are the offers that you make with those people, because you will get a sales price that is much lower. And then that way, when rates go down, or if you get in better positioning years down the road, you're going to thank yourself, because now you got a low sales price and you got a better rate down the road, or, you know, whatever the scenario was. So anyway, my name is Daniel Frank. Hope you found this valuable. If you'd like, go ahead and call me or text me. I don't do websites. I don't have a Google form or Calendly or anything. My number is down below in the description. And yeah, if you call me, I'll pick up. All right. Thanks so much. Talk to you later.